I-20, G52, G52.
73-year-old Kenneth Henretti calls bingo numbers at the Howard Westin Senior Center, while his wife Jeanette sells raffle tickets in the center's lobby. Sarah Walker has been in charge of the Arts and Crafts program for 26 years, while Ruth and Edward Travers simply enjoy being regulars here. Aside from attending the Howard Westin Center, many seniors here have one more thing in common. They are proud graduates from William Penn High School.
This was our senior ring, and back then that was the only kind of style you could get. It was, didn't get the pick of the stones and everything on the side, and that was a total of $50 back then.
Sarah Walker treasures her keepsakes from William Penn, like this mug and her yearbook. That's her in 1974. She also has precious memories. Bruce Reynolds was one of her favorite teachers, who also taught her husband and daughters.
But he said the same jokes back there when my daughters went to school, and we would sit around the table and they'd go, "You wouldn't believe what Reynolds said today," and it would be the same joke we heard 20 years ago. That probably was one of the funniest things that ever happened.
The Henrettis met in the 7th grade and attended William Penn when it was originally here at what is now the Newcastle Elementary School. They too have pictures from their years as students in Colonial. And after being married for 53 years, both can't help but notice how the schools and students have changed in the district.
When we went to school, Kenny had a habit of not wearing a belt. So his shirt tails be hanging out. Mr. Moffett would take him home many times and have him put a belt on. He told me, he said, "Boy, you wear a belt to school. You don't come with your tails hanging out." So he'd take him home and get him a belt. So today is totally different.
Ruth Travers not only graduated from William Penn, but worked in the district for 30 years as a secretary, starting when she used a switchboard. As a student, she recalls how she met and married Edward, her high school sweetheart.
When we were in 10th grade, I was a cheerleader, and he saw me, and he told his friend, he said that was who he was going to marry. And his friend said, "Well, you have to get past her father first." So, but that worked out too, and we've been married 60 years now.
As for how the seniors at West End view Penn today,
oh, well, there's so much for the kids to do today. Like the culinary, the swimming, the architectural, and the engineering and everything. These kids have a great chance when they come out. You know, we had to go to college, but neither one of us parents were fortunate enough to send us. So we had to go to work. But these kids have an opportunity when they come out. They're going to have a career.
I'm proud of it, and I'm glad to see it turning around a little bit with the curriculum.
I've always thought it was great, enjoyed it. I thought the Colonial School District, it was only one in that Colonial as far as I'm concerned.
And I guess your family must bleed cherry red and black.
Absolutely bleeds cherry and red. Yep, as you can tell from today. Yep.
Many seniors here wear cherry red and black with pride, and many are glad to see students from the district making regular visits to the center now, all bridging the generation gap, thanks to their connection to the Colonial School District.
Next number is 13. Number 13.
Seniors play bingo all the time at the Howard Westin Senior Center, but playing with kindergarten students was a first of many new things. To the delight and amazement of most in this audience, youngsters in Colonial's Chinese immersion program at Newcastle Elementary School sang songs in Chinese for the seniors. These children, most of whom are only 5 years old, started learning Chinese when school started in late August. Since then, they've been spending half a day with a teacher who speaks to them only in her native tongue, while learning not only the language, but the typical things students in kindergarten are taught. The remainder of their day is spent with an English-speaking teacher. And the kids, well, they just love sharing their new language with others.
I think it's fantastic to start them when they're young, when they're just like sponges, and they absorb everything.
With the world being so diverse now, it's good to have another language to be able to use at some point in time.
I thought they were great and enjoyed it very much. I think it's fine, but I'm glad I didn't have to do it.
You don't think you could do it?
No, no.
Sandy Krett, the director of the center, knew the seniors would be wowed by these bilingual learners, so she invited the kindergartners to spend the morning with the seniors because she sees the importance of bringing the generations together. Besides,
it's just so important for the older generation to see how wonderful the kids are today. We only read in the paper all the bad things, and this shows them how wonderful the kids are. They just are fantastic.
And even more fantastic, says Krett, is that many of the seniors here, like Dot Evans, went to schools in the district. Evans graduated from William Penn in 1957. Aretha Brown graduated with the class of '69. Brown says seeing the Chinese immersion program in action is proof of the many positive changes in Colonial.
I think it's changed for the better.
And do you bleed cherry red and black?
Oh, absolutely. Still love Colonial. William Penn all the way.
From generation to generation, there are always great stories to tell about Colonial Nation. I'm Lauren Wilson, your Public Information Officer for the Colonial School District.